You know, Halloween has a lot of different frights, and they don't always have to be horrific. They can sometimes be, in the version of a sort of revenge story, I think, because if you've ever seen some revenge horror movies or revenge graphic movies like Death Wish, then you know that it can get pretty dark. And I got one today that's trying to rip off Death Wish that Cauldron Films has put out. And man, we got to talk about this one, guys. You're going to want to watch. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we got a special release, a limited Cauldron release. Cauldron Films is one of my favorite places to get some of the more underground, forgotten titles, ones that you typically either don't know, can't find, or, just they put together a lot of really underground niche titles. And that's kind of where I love to, thrive, okay? Now, I will admit, I'm not a big, huge exploitation fan like some people are, but I still like to collect those things because I'm just weird, okay? And this one is no different. This one's actually a pretty rare one that is finally getting a 4K release, and it is Mad Foxes, which... holy shit, this movie, man. This is a movie that has been in a bunch of different forms. Like, there's been shorter versions. It was a Video Nasty Section 3 back in, the UK. It had real, biker gang in it, actual Hell's Angels that were of the Yahtzee variety, the Nazi guys. It's a 1981 Euro exploitation sleaze revenge film that is trying to take Death Wish, which was, pretty harrowing. If you've ever seen the Death Wish 1 and 2, both of those scenes are just yikes. And they're trying to sexify it up to turn it into a sleaze movie with a James Bond type revenge guy. He drives around a Stingray, like a Corvette Stingray or something that is just he's so cool, But one of his girlfriends of the 800 happens to get raped, and it's his time to enact the fight and bring it to the Nazis. It's pretty wild, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is a crazy film. I never saw it before, and they do go some pretty crazy places. Like I said, it's excessive sleaze and violence, and if you're into that kind of thing, this is definitely going to be up your alley. No pun intended. This little slip here comes with it. I didn't have it on the front because it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know why they put it like that because it's kind of weird. But this is the limited edition. It comes, with a hard case box. We'll get into that here in a little bit, and then I'll go into the extras and everything. First, I'm just going to kind of explain what I thought of this movie and a little bit about it and why this is such a unique, weird movie to have on 4K and Blu-ray, by the way, because it includes both of them on there. But yeah, we'll get into that now. So Mad Foxes is about this guy who is kind of a playboy. He goes around day to day screwing just about everything that walks and literally finds women on the street to screw because, he's mad and he's a fox. No, I don't know. I don't know why they do that. But, I joke, but the movie is actually pretty interesting on a violence revenge film. But it is not exactly perfect as a story. It's just trying to be effective at the sleaze, the revenge, the violence, and all the things that people are going to tune in for a movie like this, okay? You know what you're getting into when you get into this. Now, I don't want to say it's the most horrendous thing I've ever seen. It is definitely violent. There are moments in it that are just mean-spirited. There's this group of bikers that are going around. They bump into this guy and his girlfriend, or the date that he's on for the night. And they end up catching him when he's drunk, beating the crap out of him, and then taking advantage of his girlfriend. He wakes up and he's not too happy about it. But it really isn't that big a deal to him that much. He calls his local karate friends to handle it, and they go and beat the shit out of the crew, and this back and forth revenge thing that keeps happening. And while this guy's going around being a playboy in his cool car and sleeping with everyone that he meets, endangering everyone that he meets, might I add, too, including his family, which is where the movie sort of shifts into high gear as far as like the violence goes. But yeah, these bikers are just mean-spirited. There's a lot of dick, a lot of nudity in this film, a lot of segments that are about, 20 minutes of the movie is filled with just sex. But not like the real sex, just the kind of rubbing on each other kind of weird stuff. Mostly just to kind of showcase the female. But like I said, there are dicks in this film, so enjoy that if you enjoy it. But yeah, no, I actually kind of enjoyed this movie in a weird way. Like, I don't think it's like something I want to watch all the time, obviously. But, to see it in its fully uncut version and to have a copy to kind of see what crazy films they got into in the early 80s, late 70s of this kind of exploitation sort of thing. It's really a weird combination of things, and it really shouldn't work. You shouldn't the two are very opposed to one another, like James Bond and Death Wish. Trying to mash them together is kind of weird a little bit. I guess it works on some sort of surface level, and that's kind of how this movie is. It's a very surface level movie with a lot of really fucked up scenes between the bikers and this other guy and just the revenge story that goes on. And part of the reason why it's weird to me is because in Death Wish, you feel bad for the guy because he's a decent person that really cares about his wife and stuff. This guy just wants to bang everything around him, so it's like you don't really feel bad for him. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but you're really kind of wondering why the hero is the guy in the Playboy car, because I guess he's just kind of a douche in a way. You can just tell. He's just kind of a douche. But, in this movie, he's a cool guy. They try to James Bond him up. They do get into some pretty violent stuff. Most of it is pretty tame, but there is some definite gore and, stuff that happens in the film that is going to be geared at trying to offend people for the most part. But I don't think it's as bad as something like Cannibal Holocaust or something. That mostly was because of animals. They do have some stuff in here that is just kind of atrocious, but it was beautiful, man. Did it look nice on the screen here? It felt like a 70s movie to me. It is 80s, but the Nazi gang going around, you'll notice that their patches get covered in certain parts of the movie. And I'm not sure if that's because this is a Swedish-Spanish production, and it's got actors that are from Spain and a lot of different mixed up groups of European sleaze and exploitation. A lot of the actors that have done a lot of those types of movies is in this movie. And as I mentioned, they actually had a real member of the Hell's Angel motorcycle club who played a biker in this film. And he ends the movie in a pretty crazy way. I was not expecting the ending that we got. But yeah, it's a wild movie, man. This is one that's for the books. I think a lot of people are going to be pretty much like, what the fuck did I just watch when I see this? And I don't know. It's really hard to score. I haven't really seen too many things like it. But I think if you are into like the intended violence to try to shock you, then it might actually be a good film to pick up. If you like to collect really rare stuff, this is also another really good release to have. But yeah, I still think it's pretty good. I think it's like a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 when it comes to this type of film. I wouldn't say it's the most extreme one I've seen, but it's definitely one that is notable and a lot of people wanted to collect, and now has a 4K and a Blu-ray that look amazing, by the way. Cauldron always does a really good job. I've never really seen them do a bad job yet, and I've gotten a lot of their films. So they've done quite a few 4Ks. I think they did the City of the Living Dead one as well. And the limited edition is running out, so if you want to try to pick it up, you can. They are having a sale on their website or MVD's website if you want to pick up a copy for yourself. I'm going to get into some of the extras on this right now for you, and I'm sorry this isn't as well a done up, video that I normally do, but I have been trying to do quantity over quality a little bit more because it's Halloween, guys, and boy, is it a busy time. So I hope you understand, everyone involved. Thank you, Cauldron Films and MVD, for sending this out. But yeah, here's the main poster. You get one of those with it. And then the reversible side, so you can pick and choose what you like. The box is awesome. They do a really good job with their boxes. I've gotten multiple sets of theirs. Like I said, you get the J card here. I don't know why it looks like it did on the front. Maybe they had a different version that they were looking for. We'll get into the extras in a second here. This is the reversible cover because it looks the other one just looks like the other ones you've seen. So I wanted to show you this. This is like a scene from the movie where someone gets shot. Starring Robert O'Neill, Laura Prenica, Lally Espinette, and Anna Roca. Had to turn the light on so you could see the back here, but if you want to pause that to see all the extras on here. On the inside, you've got 2 discs. You got your 4K on the bottom and your Blu-ray on the top there. Like I said, the reversible is just the cover that you've kind of already seen, which I think looks better than the original, but I just like to switch it up in there. Now for the extras. Pause to read. We got directed by Paul Grau, which he only did 2 movies, by the way. This and like 6 Swedish Girls in the Alps from 1983 after this. This is, full 2160 4K. It's a new restoration from the uncensored negative, which is the best version you're going to get for this, unless they do an 8K scan in the future, which I highly doubt. Previous versions have 73 minutes, 79 minutes. This is 80 minutes, and that can, roughly... There is Dolby HDR, there is Dolby Vision HDR and audio options. You got English 5.1. You have English 5.1, 2.0, optional English SDH subtitles. You also had the Spanish 2.0 mono audio with English subtitles. The special features that we have on here is the untold story of Robert O'Neill. It's an interview with the actor Jose Gras, it's a really interesting interview, and it kind of tells you about like how he kind of fell out of acting sort of after this run of like crazy movies that he did, which surprised a lot of people really. But he resurfaced just recently and they got an interview with him. So it's a very cool interview. Erwin and the Foxes, producer Erwin C. Dietrich, and actors Eric Falk and Helmi Sig talk about Mad Foxes. We got Mad Eric, interview with Eric Falk. Nazi Fox Bikers Must Die, a visual essay by Troy Howarth. Image Gallery, trailer, audio commentary by film critics Nani Cobretti and Merlin Roberts. Pretty cool release, man. I really thought it was very interesting. It's nice to see like these really unknown titles get the treatment. And I don't think some people understand what that treatment means to a lot of people who actually like to find these hard to find movies and then get the best possible format. For them, it's like justification for all the years that they couldn't find it and they had to watch it in this like grainy, tiny, recorded and taped over like versions that have been all over the internet or on VHS tapes that people pass to each other. Cauldron does a lot of these, and I think it's very cool that they're doing it. So, whether you're a big fan of this or not, it's nice to see underground films like this get that kind of treatment. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this release. I thought it was pretty cool. Not my regular stuff here, but I know a lot of you guys like to watch a lot of different stuff too. And I'm sure you've probably even heard of this movie. If you have, sound off in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. I hope you don't mind this format that I'm doing to try to get more content out to you. There's still going to be edited heavily stuff that I've been working on for the past couple of days, tirelessly, by the way, tirelessly. Yeah, my tongue is just running out of steam here. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this. Thanks MVD and Cauldron Films for always supporting us here. We really greatly appreciate both of you. And yeah, thanks for coming by and watching this video. I really appreciate your support. Share it with somebody you think might be interested in it, because we are the underground, my friend, and I need support from people like you to help spread the word about this channel, because I do so many different things on this channel that YouTube just goes, I don't know what to do. So yeah, but I appreciate you all who do watch. You guys are the best. Thank you. And as always, long live the void.